Hello everyone from Speedgaming 3. This is your boy LV Creed here, bringing you yet another installment of the Mega Man 2 Randomizer Tournament. This time we are having a losers round 2 matchup between some very notable veterans of this randomizer, Kammesennin and Casualtom, hoping to survive this particular round because, yeah, someone's gonna get eliminated if one of them loses. Obviously speaking. Speaking of stuff that's obvious to everyone, besides being on the commentary booth, Frico, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I guess you got everything all sorted out, so I don't have to recap what's going on here. So, really, let's unleash the beast and see what we got here. So, Kammesennin's gonna go probably Buster only unless he's changed since last time. Casualtom? Do you think he's going Buster only as well? Or are they going to fight on Kammesennin's terms? Or are we going to just have an all-out brawl, see who moves on?
Actually, word has it that Casualtom may be doing Buster only for the most part. Well, unfortunately, between Casualtom and Kammesennin is definitely more used to the Buster only style compared to Casualtom. While Casualtom is not a stranger to Buster only, there are some things in Mega Man 2 under Buster only conditions that could make it rough, and adding randomized shenanigans could make things a little bit rough. So we'll see how long Casualtoms will last under these conditions.
Yeah, very true. Uh-oh. I heard the break. We got the countdown going? Oh, I see a frame counter moving. So there we go. Kammesennin's off. Casualtom not too far behind. So, what is that, about a second and a half to sync them together, and away we go. We got Flashman on Kammesennin's side, Quickman on Casualtom's side.
Yep, some pretty simple stages that you'll definitely like to see, considering that we are running with very hidden stage names, so they have no idea where our runners are going to be heading in the stage select. So for Quick and Flash, like I said, those two stages that you like to see very early on, relatively short stages that have E-tanks that are usually fairly accessible, especially in Quickman's stage. But in Flash, there could be some treacherous shenanigans that could go on en route to that E-tank, but otherwise, still very straightforward.
Well, we do have frog dispensers, I see, on Kammesennin's side, so we'll see what we end up with. Ooh, Joe armors. Let's see what we have at the end here.
Looking pretty safe. Kammesennin's about to go straight for that E-tank, and since we are in Flash, I did take good note on Kammesennin's side that the Buster is useless on these walls. The crash walls have a randomized weakness, Buster being one of those potential weaknesses, but unfortunately, especially for a Buster warrior like Kammesennin, the Buster is not going to be dealing damage to those walls.
Alright, so no lemon juice today breaking down the walls. No prison break, but Kammesennin just absolutely dumpstered that robot. So let's see, do we have an item waiting for him? Oh, we do! Item 3 acquired.
Yep, and it's vanilla spot no less, but Airman gets quickly dispensed in Quickman stage as well, but no item to his name, unfortunately.
Oh, a little early for Woodman, if you ask me. I would probably try to opt out of this. I've seen a couple runs as of late really be decided between Goodwood being able to be performed and not performed, so we'll see if Kammesennin capitalizes on it.
Well, to be fair, since both of these runners are still probably going to be doing Buster for the most part, especially at least for these 8 robos, you are pretty much not going to expect any Goodwood to come from honor runners. So at least for the 8 robos, they're pretty much going to be running on even turf, unless something really unruly comes up for either runner, particularly in Casualtom's case.
Alright, fair enough. So, you know, there are rules of engagement in play, and I'm not entirely certain what they may or may not be. So, speculative at best, but I've seen runs in the last couple days be decided with one runner being able to pull off a Goodwood and another runner basically losing the time that the Goodwood would have saved them, and basically that being the difference.
Well, you're definitely not wrong on that, but for right now, we got a dumb crash. We don't have Goodwood, we got a very dumb crash being dispensed very quickly by Kammesennin. No items there. But then again, keep it in mind, since even I forget sometimes, Kammesennin still probably ain't gonna use those items regardless. Unlike Casualtom, who might use a weapon during his run, Kammesennin is pure buster only unless the items require him to use them. So I'm pretty sure Kammesennin is not going to be using weapons in the slightest.
Well, we saw a pause buffer there. Kammesennin, uh-oh, alright, he is able to get back. Let's see, what... Those would be no, those aren't shrimp falling down, are they? What's falling down upon Kammesennin there?
Those are supposedly crabs, but yeah, there's just some weird fish that's flying from the sky. Not flying fish, just falling fish.
Wait a second. Uh-oh. Are we playing the right game here?
Technically, yes. Even though it's kind of noted a little differently, but the feel is still the same. So, yeah, Nintendo don't sue.
Oh boy. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, well... If I ignore it, it may just go away, but Casualtom... are we gonna pause buffer? Go for a Bubble Man zip? It looks like, yeah, we can do that with the Buster, so... If we do have a agreement for the Buster only, Casualtom... still perfectly within his right to pull off that Bubble Zip.
Meanwhile, Kammesennin going through a relatively fair airman stage, finding Quickman, who's not really all that quick this time around, takes him out pretty swiftly and moves on.
Oh, item 1 showing up at the end of Airman stage, note to self, and Kammesennin into the Woodman stage. So he does have the tools to pull off Goodwood. Let's see if he uses them. That'll be the real... I don't think so.
I can 100% tell you that that is not happening. Once again, we gotta remember, Kammesennin is a pure Buster warrior. He lives and breathes and dies by the lemon. So we are pretty much not expecting Goodwood to happen between any of our runners, at least for this seed. While we got Casualtom finding the vanilla bubble, pretty friendly at that, takes him out pretty quickly and moves on, pretty much running stride for stride with Kammesennin. But once again, we got some longer and potentially harder stages still waiting in the wings.
Well, here's gonna be a fun one. It looks like item 2 is gated behind either Heatman or Crashman.
So for right now, we do have Kammesennin retreading old territory in Woodman stage, seeing that from Casualtom's perspective. But Heatman right now, some prop tops that are very unfortunately Buster immune. Not the kind of, well, you don't want to see any enemies Buster immune, but there are just some enemies that are more annoying than others. Prop tops being one of them. Hopefully those fan fiends oh, no, never mind. Thank you, Tom, for telling us that they are at least acceptable to the Busters. So the second part of Heatman, while probably going to be a bit of a struggle, it could have been much worse.
Alright, LB Creed, you're the music aficionado between the both of us here. Double Dragon 3?
No, Double Dragon 2. No, actually, this should be just plain Double Dragon.
No.
Yeah, this is the cave stage for the original Double Dragon.
Original? Okay.
Well, the NES Double Dragon. I don't Not sure how the arcade version sounds, but regardless, definitely the very first Double Dragon.
I think there's about a whole 5 notes that play through the entire Double Dragon arcade game. You get the little jingle at the end of every stage, and that's about it.
Anyway, Kammesennin dispatches the Flashman that is in Woodman stage, and following on the heels of Casualtom going to Heat. But as we know right now, especially according to our tracker, Kammesennin has just a wee bit of an edge on the Robot Masters compared to Casualtom, but we still got time. There's quite a bit of interesting stuff that could happen between both our runners between now and at least getting to the Wily stages.
Yeah, pardon the pun here, but Casualtom does have a stage that he can finish in a flash, so, you know, that should equalize things out for Casualtom. He finishes off Heatman, so let's see. Ooh, Crashman's hiding our item too.
So that's definitely all our items accounted for, even though we're probably not going to see them in these 8 robos, since they're tested Buster only for the time being. But it's good to have the information still there for us, and for us, the cons and the viewers, to realize where everything would have been. Ooh,
oh no!
Kammesennin taking a dive. I'm pretty sure he was fully expecting the fan theme, but just could not get himself positioned to make to that ledge. The vanishing block wound up being a literal block to that platform anyway.
I think it was the double fan fiend here. He got rid of that first one. And I believe a second one. No? Was it there? It was around there where I thought he died, but either way, it was a fan fiend that just sort of sent him back. Oh, alright, there we go. Zip across. Nice.
Casualtom going the full way, making sure that the Buster is indeed not the weakness of the crash walls. Finding the Joe Armors being pretty dang weak. Taken down in one shot, Joe Armors being a little bit more tenacious. As we go to find our Metal Man in Flash's room, we saw that on Kammesennin's side, and we found out that it was a pretty soft metal.
Alright, there's item 3 for Casualtom. And here he'll pick up his item 1 at the end of this Airman stage.
So yeah, we got our Banana Man, who's also a Woodman in this case. Yep, very easy. Buster softly, pushing through the shields. Very easy time for Kame. Kind of had a little bit of a slow going starting with the Yokus, but still manages.
Just able to save that one. Casualtom, nice go.
Kammesennin starting their assault on Bubble Man stage. Seeing Shotman along the way, hope he makes the clean jump. Indeed he does. That Shotman has been the bane of many unsuspecting runners, knocking people out and falling them into pits. While we do have our pause buffer additions since at least our last tournament, there's still shots that can wind up being hit and our runners still being unsuspected enough to recover. So Kammesennin, being the experienced runner that he is, was able to just jump through and continue to go on. About to start this Buster Zip in Bubble Man in progress.
Alright, so Kammesennin's getting his way through Bubble Man. Casualtom. Wow. It's a endless seafood buffet here. They're just spawning right on top of him. Every time he moves forward, it looks like I see him get in a hit animation.
Yeah, currently my favorite situation. Crabs in air, go figure. But Casualtom still managed to survive. about to fight our next both our runners about to face their respective robot masters. Are very slow moving quick man in a very vanilla bubble. Both of these, well, we're about to see. I don't Casualtom can only take one hit and gets greedy. Got greedy.
Yeah, I saw Kammesennin on the other side was low as well, but he took advantage of the safety sludge. So Kammesennin, I believe, has 2 Robot Masters left, and he'll pick up his item 2 at the end of this Crashman stage.
And very hoping to try to do this. One of the more recent finds in terms of zipping, probably the latest in terms of zips. This particular ladder zip, coming from this specific point in the ladder, oh, he's gonna do the pause buffer variant. So he's gonna pause buffer to the very end of the wall as he transitions and get wedged in. A proper A trigger. And he zips along.
Wow. Frog legs are not helping out there, just slowing things down. Ooh. Alright, it looks like Casualtom choosing not to zip, so... This could be a bit of a disadvantage here, as he'll be going through these elevator rooms. Kammesennin depositing himself down at the bottom of the abyss.
Yeah, dealing with these lag variants really gonna slow down the progress in these several screens. Doesn't help that these little tadpoles are buster immune, so he can't shoot them, so they tend to add to the lag.
Now, one thing I'm a little interested in is... I don't think Casualtom took a death. I don't think he's on 0 lives. It's one of those things I'm just like, okay. Interested as to why he wouldn't take advantage of that craft zip. I'm pretty sure he knows how to do it.
I'm not so sure. I tend to see Casualtom practice every so often. I don't think he's learned this particular zip. So, of course, being unfamiliar with a zip that you really don't use, you probably wouldn't think about trying it. So, I'm not too surprised that Casualtom forgoes trying to do that specific zip, which Kammesennin, being the master of the buster, all but perfected the variance of that particular zip portion.
Fair enough. Alright, so... Kammesennin has Quickman stage left. We saw him in Heatman earlier. And Metal Man's going to be left for Casualtom as they get to the top of this Crashman stage and take down Heatman.
Yeah, and this is not a Heatman that you will probably want to fight Buster only. Not Buster softly, so it's a long 14 hits where Heatman gets completely invincible. It's a really dragged out and long fight. Very easy to potentially make mistakes if you don't keep the flow of movement going whenever he starts to do his heat crash. So it's kind of unfortunate for both our runners. It's like I said, it's one of those situations where we're gonna see how long Kammesennin's gonna last, because Casualtom, as he's, like I said, we stick with the Buster at least for these 8 robos. When we get to the Wally stages, he's not gonna be bound by that particular restriction anymore, because he committed to himself, quote unquote, Buster mostly. So we're gonna see how much things are gonna change when we get to the Wily stages.
Well, you're definitely going to have to use the item 2 when we're in Wily 2. There's no way around that unless there's some zip that I've not been made aware of to get around that chasm.
Well, aside from the usual suspects, because we know we're going to need item 1 for Wily.
Oh no!
That is a pretty decent setback. Kammesennin getting a little bit off timing, is expected to be on the ledge, jumped up a little late and fall behind the force beam cycle. getting himself a pretty significant death. Probably closing the gap just a smidge, but still holding the advantage.
Well, this Metal Man's gonna be Casualtom's last stage. We saw him finish off the Crash Man. Both runners have all their items. So, at this point, it's just a matter of executing in the last stage. Kammesennin looks like he's made it through.
Yeah, it seems like by the time Kammesennin is done with the bossing quick bench boss room, Casualtom is still just a little over, well, a little less than half of a stage behind by the time we get to the actual Wally stages. And B-Man over here, even though he's putting up a pretty neat defense, still a soft buster weekend gets dispatched pretty handily. And that is Kammesennin being our first runner to see, well, do we get the best eyebrows?
Uh-oh. Wait a second. I know we had some Double Dragon music, but my oh my, I didn't expect a sub-boss of Double Dragon to find his way into the castle. So, looks like a Bobo's taken over the castle.
Yeah, a little bit of a different set of eyebrows inhabiting the castle this time around. But Casualtom taking care of Crashman and Wood in a Metal Man stage, not too far behind, right on Kammesennin's heels. And we're gonna be seeing both our runners in the Wily stages basically neck and neck. One decent mistake can just pretty much just spell doom for either runner at this point. But of course, by this point, yeah, we gotta do it. We got a dragon to guess. We got a color, a weakness, and a design. So yeah, I'm gonna let people just go ahead and just start guessing on their own and see what happens. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for a true blue dragon, and especially for Kammesennin's sake, give the man a Buster Dragon weakness, have him blue, and just for design, give him some neat sunglasses, some 80s shades.
Alright, I'm going Oats Dragon. It's always the bubble lead until it's not. And then I want to go purple for the color.
Alright, so once again, we got Casualtom and Kammesennin pretty much, once again, about half a stage behind each other. Kammesennin about to be the first one to tackle the dragon. Like I said, especially for Kammesennin's sake, he wants this dragon to be Buster. Give him any other weapons, and I won't say he struggles, but it definitely will be a very uncomfortable situation for Kame due to his, oh, you know, I'll take that mostly blue.
Nah, mostly blue, true blue, close enough. Oh wow, it is Buster. Uh-oh. Oh, he is able to stay on, and it's out of there. So, Buster's one of them. Much to Kammesennin's delight.
Didn't get the shades though. Got some anime Gurren Lagann and Squirtle Squad shades though, so can't win them all. Casualtom is also fighting Buster in tow. Probably gonna be equally as glad finding out Dragon's gonna be Buster and starts plugging away. Casualtom still on Kammesennin's heels, gonna follow him right into Wally 2.
Yeah, Kammesennin falling down. Yeah, I didn't expect him to check any wall weaknesses. So Kammesennin gonna hope again that we have a Buster weak boss in the Pico Robots.
Kammesennin taking out the rest of the enemies that are just lining up themselves for the kill, and indeed we once again hoping for Buster weaknesses for the Pico units, but of course we still got a design for the Pico units. Is it the most dangerous one though? Oh baby, it is, but it doesn't matter.
Wow. More Buster, more boss. Yes, please, for Kammesennin. Wow. So far, living the dream as, what, 2 hits with the Buster and it's out of there?
Yeah, right now, this is probably close to a Kammesennin's dream seed at the current moment. Everything just coming up Buster.
Well, there we have it. Casualtom's on his way in, Kammesennin's on his way out. And it looks like Casualtom staying with the Buster as well, not hunting for items. So, here we go.
Yeah, sticking with the Buster only rules, that at least for the current, is actually benefiting Casualtom, getting just as equal amount of luck as Kammesennin has.
Oh no, you're not supposed to hit those, Kammesennin. That's hazardous to your health.
And yeah, that is a pretty significant time loss that puts Casualtom even closer to Kame, probably at this point several streams behind now rather than half a stage.
Well, the good thing is, Wily 3 is so short, a death, 15 seconds, maybe? But you definitely don't want to have a repeat performance of that, so Kammesennin hopefully keeps it clean the rest of the way. It looks like he's good to go.
Casualtom keeping it more clean, not having any false jumps, should be good on the spike fall. Gonna be following Kammesennin in just a little while as we see Kammesennin go to the guts tank. Are we gonna be 3 for 3 for Buster bosses? Well, Bowser tank rather.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Doing the weapon dumpster dive, nothing in the first page was doing, well, until we got our vanilla quick boomerangs as a weakness.
Oh, let's see. Casualtom. Yeah, one more. There we go. Found it. So, Casualtom not trying all the weapons, but still, nonetheless, finding the one that works. So, closing the gap just a little bit. Kammesennin doing a little menuing, but still with a 15-second lead, give or take a little bit.
Kammesennin trying to pull all the stops, but doing all the stops kind of just wasting a little bit of time, trying to utilize every trick in the book, but unfortunately because he's not executing them on the first pass, he's once again giving Casualtom just a little bit less wiggling room, and winds up making Casualtom just ease every little bit closer.
Yeah, we're seeing right now that Kammesennin trying to go for the swag zips, but oh, Casualtom found a pitfall. Oh boy, that's not a pitfall you want to see. Yikes.
Yeah, Kammesennin unfortunately finding the wrong pit, and now all of a sudden the lead changed hands very quickly.
Yeah, so Casualtom, you've got a bit of a reprieve. Make it across the abyss. There you go.
Yeah, normally there would, depending on the certain designs, of course, which the stage designs are randomized, this is one of the worst potential ones because there are no visual cues or positions for Kammesennin to make educated jumps. As a result, Kammesennin winds up paying the price while Casualtom actually a little bit luckier, overshooting the pitfall that would have sent him to equally spiky death, and now Casualtom reaping all the benefits of his luck.
Yeah, it just looks like a single shot man here in the final anxiety room. But no weapons, so Casualtom Buster only so far, so respect.
Yeah, for those that are coming in and probably wondering why our runners are not using items, while this is indeed 80% where technically anything goes, especially when it comes to matching with Kammesennin, and I know I've been guilty, and no regrets being guilty about doing it. We kind of just like to race on Kammesennin's turns and do some Buster only races, just because we can. Of course, except for areas that require items and weapons, like our Boo Beam boss that's coming along here.
Oh, alright. What was that? Charged heat to get rid of the walls?
Yep, and we already know that the Buster is not the wall weakness, so this is definitely in fair grounds, and Kammesennin finds it just as quick. Level 5 Metal Blades as our Boo Beam weakness. If this was any percent and we would have been hunting for God weaknesses, this would have been a godsend. But thanks to Buster only rules and testing out the Buster first on these things, Metal Blades just wound up being kind of like a passing thought.
Well, Metal Blades are a page 2 weapon, correct?
Mm-hmm. But it's also still a God weakness, so even though it's the turns are Buster immune, I would still think you would probably be more willing to check out any and all your quick kill weaknesses first.
Fair point. But alright, so let's see where we're at here. Casualtom takes down RoboMaster 2, Kammesennin number 1. So one boss behind right now for Kammesennin.
Yeah, this is actually, keep in mind, this is still extremely close. Both our runners still doing Buster only as best as each runner can do as possible, and they're pretty much one Robot Master away from each other. So this is actually an insane situation that both our runners are dealing with right now, especially since both our runners have no idea how close or far each other are.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Kammesennin would have tried for those kind of mini swag zips in Wily 4 if he knew that Casualtom was right on his heels. But, you know, again, hindsight's 20/20. You kind of look back and go, oh. That may well be the difference in this race between the two of them.
Well, and also, but in equal fairness, Kammesennin also had a couple of rougher deaths compared to Casualtom, dying in right before the spike fall in Wally 3, and of course finding the unfortunate single tile that spelled doom to the spike pit. So yeah, just a couple of unfortunate situations on Kammesennin that right now just kind of put him in an unfavorable position.
Yeah, very true. Alright, well, throughout these fights, we somehow managed to get a 2-Robot Master lead. Kammesennin into Fight 7, and Casualtom is taking on the machine, which doesn't seem to be made of papier-mâché tonight.
But it might as well be. Quick Boomerang being... well, I was about to say... I was expecting Quick Boomerang to be the weakness for both phases. Still a couple of decent weaknesses. Quick Boomerang available for the first section. Metal Blades for the second.
Alright, so Kammesennin actually... looks like he, no, went back to the Buster, okay. No, Charged Heat, no. Alright, so off to Victory Road for Casualtom. Let's see what he's got in store here for the alien. Both runners gotta be, kind of up against it. They're near the end, and neither runner has seen a dot done on the other side, so... I'm gonna take advantage of, your... Oh no, Kammesennin, that's another death. That's no good. That's a game over, too. So that's going to send him back to the start of the robot refights.
Yeah, at this point, especially with Casualtom fighting our literal Wily alien, it pretty much all spells doom for Kammesennin, as Casualtom just needs to find that one weapon and finishes off this final boss, which
I
is
think he
vanilla.
found that bubble lead.
Yep, the vanilla. Taking a little bit of his time, probably not a good mashable bubble in general.
Well, that's going to do it. So Casualtom able to take game number 1. I don't know. Do we call it a comeback? Because in Wily 4, Casualtom was a little bit behind, but ends up a little bit in front at the end of it all. Kammesennin looks like tapped out, ready to go to game 2.
Yeah, Kammesennin, especially with that unfortunate death to the Wild Machine, has indeed forfeited once Casualtom finished, and he did finish with an official time of 33 minutes and 32 seconds. Very solid time for for a generally Buster only run. Just a lot of unfortunate deaths on Kammesennin. The final straw on the camel's back was that Wild Machine death, but I know Kammesennin, he'll pick it back up. Just like we'll pick it back up in just a few moments as we get started for our race 2 between our 2 runners. So sit back, hang tight, we'll be back in a moment. And we are back. Welcome everyone in Speedgaming 3. This is your boy LV Creed here, bringing you match 2 of our best of 3 of the Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament. Casualtom taking a little bit of a quick one over Kammesennin. Kammesennin doing a little bit of errors, but overall it was still pretty much close between our two runners. And beside me, along for the ride, Frico, how's it hanging?
I was gonna say, don't head off alone. Take one of these with you to join your quest. But then I'm like, oh no, I can't remember what that guy says in the beginning of Zelda when he gives you the sword. And I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna work so good. Oh well, I tried.
Regardless of all of that, we still got a bit of an interesting one. Like we said, round 1 kind of came the way of Casualtom at the very last moment. Kammesennin trying to keep up, trying to stave off elimination. What's your take on this upcoming matchup, Frico, as the countdown begins?
Alright, so if Casualtom has his zips available to him, I think this could be a quick night, 2-0. But if we're playing Buster only again, like we saw in the first game, advantage Kammesennin. We might see a game 3, you know. Then again, you may go into a whammy stage like Heat Stage right away and just... Alright, at least the tin cans are going down pretty easy, so this may not be as perilous as I'd normally think it was for Kammesennin.
Airman stage, not so much. Fan Fiends in open air with some very treacherous jumps. Casualtom fortunately handling them like a pro, pretty much anticipating and doing proper boss buffering for safety to make sure that he's able to take care of these very long and dangerous gaps. Just a few more, hopefully there's... Yep, and now he's pretty much safe. Very solid platform on Casualtom. What would be one of the worst possible enemy configurations, or at least a single enemy in this first part of air.
Yeah, that was definitely a trial and tribulation, so to say. Something that we'll take a note of may catch Kammesennin by surprise. The fan fiends that kind of scroll in when you're mid-air jumping are just never a good thing to see.
Meanwhile, Kammesennin taking care of Heatman stage. Did, of course, check the crash walls for Buster weakness. Was not available, so we will be searching for weapons for those walls when we get to Boo Beams. But, once again, Casualtom able to get to our boss room first. Batsu was in air, but Kammesennin not too far on his own boss fight a little bit. And that is a bubble in air. Very soft, very spongy, and eliminated very quickly.
Alright, so not bad. So we got one stage to... Oh, this looks like easy mode here for Kammesennin. Just stand there and fire away. So normally we'd be looking for weapons or the items, but I don't think either runner are going to use them, so seeing one of those items show up is almost like a 5-second kind of penalty as you have to go through that animation.
Well, it's a penalty that's going to be dealt in equal kind, because both our runners going to have to deal with them. But regardless, doesn't matter. Both our runners still taking out their respective robot masters easily. Casualtom going to Quick Man, getting that easy E-Tank, of course not battered and bruised, but that Joe mech in the way. Meanwhile, Kammesennin taking care of the fan fiends, ensuring that this this Buster Zipping bubble hopefully goes out without a hitch.
Alright, so Kammesennin, yeah, no problem. So for those paying attention, there was an opening scroll at the beginning. And for those familiar, it was Ninja Gaiden. And that is the music that we have, the Ninja Gaiden Stage 1-1, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, this is technically Act 2-2 and Act 4-1. They have official titles, but I can't...
You're the music expert between the two of us, I'll give you that much, so... I can usually pick out the games, but trying to remember stages anymore... Ugh.
Yeah, but even I can't remember the actual full names. But that's a whole different story for a whole different day, as we got 2 boss sightings yet again. Kammesennin with the easier of the lot with a very Buster Stars weak Heatman, while Quickman here is not being a slouch this time around, but Casualtom able to take care of the damage race, the literal damage race no less, and escapes Quickman stage with his life.
Alright, so again, we see both runners pretty much nipping at each other's heels. So far, Kammesennin getting more troubling stages as Heatman already done for and Crashman underway, so it looks like Kammesennin might be trying to go for a zip again.
Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a rough one. These shrimp, looking at, wait. Oh, the shrimp wound up being not much of an issue. This kind of just staving off the inevitable. Kammesennin doing the Buster only zip for the first and second screens to crash. Gonna give himself a pretty significant advantage at the current moment. Casualtom still pretty sure that he's not ready for that particular zip yet. Of course, he can still prove me wrong, but that's still a definite advantage on Kammesennin's end.
Yeah, that zip's gonna help. Every little bit helps when you're in a race like this, so let's be real here. Kammesennin getting through a more troubling stage in a general sense, even though Casualtom is getting to the boss door a little quicker. In the long run, that may end up being a net plus for Kammesennin because he's getting much more difficult stages out of the way. I blinked and I completely missed what enemy that was at the end of the stage for Casualtom. It looked like Airman, but I didn't get to see it.
It was most definitely Airman, and Airman giving Casualtom one of the most beneficial tornado patterns. It pretty much left him a sitting duck, especially with the conveyor belt interference. Which is kind of why you would like to have Airman in Metal Man's boss room, because the conveyors will slow down the tornadoes enough for Casualtom to just pretty much just make it easy pickings. The tornadoes not being respawning until they go off screen and be slowed down being caught up by the conveyors. Meanwhile, that was Crash stage done on Kammesennin's end, taking out Flashman in relative short order. Didn't catch it was Buster Weak or not, but it was still a very easy fight. Flashman being insanely jumpable, making them extremely open. Kammesennin pretty much just having each runner running stride for stride, tied on Robot Masters at the current moment.
Alright, so if we're looking at number of stages won, irrespective of which runners finished what stage, we've got one stage in common so far, and that's gonna be... No, I don't think we have any stages in common between them so far. But, we'll see who gets to 4 first. Kammesennin's pretty close to a boss door. Casualtom's on his way to a boss door. I think Kammesennin might make it to a boss door first.
No, look like Casualtom's gonna be the first one to make it to his door first. Kammesennin still gotta take care of the little extra screens of force beams. Meanwhile, we're gonna get some Robot Master action on Casualtom and that is the Banana Man technically owning the banana trees in his home stage. And gets annihilated.
Alright, I blinked again, and that's 2 bosses now that I missed it. Just, I happened to switch over to Kammesennin's screen to look over what's going on there. And then, wow, just out of there, gone. Goodbye.
Well, the Woodman was plenty durable, but he just a lot of easy lead configurations that made that fight just pretty much go by ease. Meanwhile, Kammesennin taking out Quickman had to take the juice box in order to survive the fight, but that's what you gotta do in order to try to keep the advantage up, or at least keep the pressure up.
Alright, so Kammesennin's making his way through wood. Keep man for Casualtom. Alright, we gotta wait for the Yoku blocks, and we're just under a cannonade barrage of these shotmen.
Yeah, so trying to keep himself careful not to get sniped by those shotmen going over those pits. Manages to survive and about to make his way to those Yokus, which should not be any problem. Meanwhile, Kammesennin is about to make the ascent to the top of the treehouse and gonna find out what's awaiting there. Well, assuming those Baton Time Pac-Man ghosts don't make life any easier.
Well, here we go. We got our runners getting through one of the more difficult stages. So, Casualtom making it to his 5th boss master? Arguably in the lead? Crashman there just... Oh wow, he actually jumped once or twice this time. Oh, 3 times, wow. Somebody got him some new Reebok pumps, allowed him to jump up in the air a bit.
Still not often enough to make him easy pickings, as he's staying on the ground a little bit more than he was airborne. So yeah, Casualtom takes him out in an instant. Meanwhile, Kammesennin going to the Woodman boss room, taking care of the next boss, which is that Banana Man, that Woodman that enjoys bananas. And yep, that very slowly for old. He doesn't have any taste. He give. That's just right under him, and barely survives with the iframe just barely holding on and staying in the distance away from the leaf shield, just barely making that through, getting out of Woodman stage and gonna take on Metal Man stage.
Hey, 1 HP, 2 HP, it doesn't matter how much HP. As long as you're the one with the HP at the end of the fight, you are a winner and you get to move on to the next stage. So, a little more drama maybe than we would have liked to see, but Kammesennin moving on to Metal Man as Casualtom is making his way through the elevators in the Crashman stage.
Once again, was fairly certain Casualtom not ready to do or hadn't learned to zip for trying to ignore these moving platform rooms. Once again, giving the advantage to Kammesennin with that knowledge and experience of performing those zips, especially under bus-only conditions. So we're gonna see how much time this winds up netting Kammesennin as he kind of looks behind right now. But by the time he's done with Metal Man, we might see that he actually does hold a little bit more of the advantage, while Casualtom has to make the long climb up the rest of Crashman stage.
Well, let's see. Oh, alright, we pause buffer through the damage, so up the ladders we go. Kammesennin making it to the 6th boss door first, so Kammesennin losing a little bit of theoretical time. Let's see if he oh no, that's nowhere near the pattern that Casualtom got with the boss there.
Yeah, a little bit less lucky compared to Casualtom, but still able to plow through the tornadoes and take Airman out in relative short order, while Casualtom takes on this very easy flash. 1, 2, 3, several shots, dead he be. Well, we got a little bit of convergence. Both our runners actually finding Flashman at the same time with the same number of Robot Masters left, so we get a little bit of tangible and visual knowledge of who's ahead of the current moment. And right now, it seems like Kammesennin with the slight advantage, but not too much.
Oh, that's why we always, you know, the main measuring point is getting through all 8 robot oh boy, no, almost no shot there to be able to get to the E-Tank with that enemy group, so, ooh, yikes.
Yeah, and Kame does not have an E-Tank to his name, as I so recall, so if this is going to be an annoying Robot Master, this could spell a little bit of trouble. Nah, it's Metal Man, this should be fine.
Now, this doesn't look very troublesome at all, so... Alright, so we're getting through our Robot Masters. We've got Metal Man and Flashman compared to Bubble Man and Flashman for both runners, I believe. Oh no! Yeah. One remains, Metal Man for Kammesennin. Excuse me, Airman, not Metal Man. Ay, ay, ay.
That must have been a misclick on my end.
Ow.
But got that easily corrected.
But I'm happy for a working tracker at all, given what was going on yesterday. Oh boy.
Yeah, Kammesennin finding the bad news that Casualtom dealt with a little earlier in these fan fiends in there. But just like Casualtom before him, Kammesennin is taking care of business and getting through those fan fiends with relatively quicker ease in comparison to Casualtom, who probably had to double back a couple of times.
Well, let's see. Casualtom not taking away the fan fiend, so this is gonna take a while getting the pause buffer to adjust your position on the sprite.
He's
into
not
the
gonna
proper spot. No, oh, rejected.
Yeah, he was not gonna make it. The fan fiend making it way too hard to get into the proper positions to wedge in through that transition and get to the ceiling in a proper fashion. When it comes to fan fiends and Bubble, do not ignore that very first fan fiend at the top. The Busters Up is just not gonna work out that way.
Well, that is unfortunately a tough lesson to learn on the fly there, as Kammesennin is onto his final Robot Master boss, and wow. I didn't blink, but I almost still missed it. Alright, so a theoretical 15-20 seconds maybe between the two. Oh, there we go. There's the best eyebrows in gaming. Somebody woke up Dr. Wily, so we're off to Wily's Castle, Stage 1.
Yeah, Casualtom is not going to be too far behind, going to finish off this heat, man. And just probably about a handful of seconds behind, finally getting all the items in the process. And I'm a happy young man right now. Get some Sidebuster for Wily Stage 1. Shout out to Super Robot Wars.
Alright, so I'm gonna switch up and I'm gonna go... Actually, no, I'm not even sure if I switched. I don't even remember what I called in the first game. But I'm gonna go first because I can. We have a dragon, we have a style, we have a weapon. It's almost like a game of Clue. You know, it's gonna be the dragon, we know that much, but what type of dragon? What weapon is it gonna be dealt with, and what color the dragon's gonna be? So, I'm gonna call a purple dragon, bubble lead because I can, and you know what? I'm gonna go with the Oats dragon this time around.
Did Oats dragon the first time, but hey, I ain't gonna counter. But regardless, I'm gonna change it up a bit. We're gonna see if we get ourselves a red dragon this time. We're gonna have
old age, LV Creed. Old age. Don't let it happen to you.
I'm already partially there.
Oh boy.
But yeah, red dragoncorn is gonna be metal. And that is probably mostly orange-ish? Burnt orange, maybe?
Yellow, orange? It's definitely not red. It's definitely not purple. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely not Buster. As Kammesennin takes the fall.
Oh, that's catastrophic because that's going to take a while to recover from that one. So, yikes.
The dragon has always kind of been Kammesennin's worst nightmare. He definitely documented it as such, and unfortunately, the old demon still haunts him. Just once again, it's that. Okay, now it's a little more greenish on Casualtom side. You know, I ain't playing anymore.
Well, Casualtom showed us. It's definitely. Oh, it's not the Buster. All right, game 3. Let's go. It's gotta be the bubble lead. I just refuse to acknowledge the existence of a non-bubble lead weak dragon.
Well, I think Casualtom did try bubble at some point. He definitely went through most of page 1, but regardless, we know definitely it's a crash.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looked like the crash bomb that he ended up on, and I definitely did see a bubble lead. It's Leaf Shield for Kammesennin. So a little bit of a whoopsie-doo switcheroo as Casualtom takes a little bit of the lead from the death against the dragon for Kammesennin. So now Casualtom, a little bit earlier, it was Wily 4 last time that we saw Casualtom take the lead. Now it's Wily 2. Now it's going to be a matter of, it's a game of hot potato, and this is where you want to hold on to the potato and not throw it to your opponent.
Casualtom going through the second half of Wily Stage 2. Kammesennin not too far behind, but still probably feeling the pressure after that dragon death. So Casualtom, just a few more screens before we get to our Pico boss. Last time it was a pretty friendly one, even though we got the Invisible Picos. It was Buster Weak last time. Did we get the same Buster Weakness this time? Will Invisible Pico return? We're about to find out in a few seconds.
No. No lazy leave. I think that was a plonk on. I'm not sure that bubble lead hit, but it's the metal blade. One-hitter quitters.
Yep, in one blade per kill. I definitely think this is the weapon of choice for this Pico. The question is, once Kamen finds out it's not Buster, how soon is he gonna find it? I think he's gonna stick with first page.
He's gonna run out of energy. This heat works, but he's not gonna be able to finish off that one. He's gonna have not enough energy for it. So just ammo consumption being the bane of Kammesennin right now. Looks like he's found the third weakness. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Quick boomerang?
That's quick boomerang. The random direction kind of Makes it a little weird, but the way it handles, yep, definitely 100% quick boomerang.
Alright, so not quite the one-hitter quitter that Metal Blades were causing, but still enough to get through. So Kammesennin on to Wily 3 as Casualtom gets to explore the Pink Lemonade manufacturing plant here.
That is 100% watermelon. It's pink and green. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Alright, so watermelon flavored? Alright, so we got our watermelon soda in effect here.
Gus tank incoming. Is it Buster Week? Or we dumpster diving? Yep, we're dumpster diving for weapons. Air shoot not it. But bubbles are definitely doing the job. And that is a fairly quick fight. The bubbles being plenty spammable. And that is Wally 3 down for Casualtom. Kammesennin about to follow suit. Hopefully finds a decent weapon quick enough, while Casualtom is about to deal with Wally 4, where things got a little bit hectic for our runners last time. It was the bane of Kammesennin's run, where Casualtom suffered a similar fate and give Kami a little bit of a breathing room trying to come back.
Yeah, this is still anybody's call, even though we've seen minor errors. Wait, that's not the thing that's supposed to explode. Oh, no. I was about to say minor mistakes on both sides, but we've seen two fairly major mistakes from Kammesennin's side, and that's uncharacteristic, in all honesty.
Yeah, Cummins didn't think he was gonna beat the damage race between Gus Tank. Kind of got a little outcycled by the lead shield. Tried to pulse cancel properly, but just couldn't make a decision and wound up paying the price. Well, that is the Gus Tank down, but that is an extremely unfortunate setback. Unfortunate deaths just, well, of course, that goes without saying, unfortunate deaths are going to wind up scoring your race over, but on Kammesennin, this is still extremely devastating.
Yeah, Casualtom. Oh, alright, yeah, the pause buffer helping out. Take the damage there. Alright, so Casualtom putting the anxiety rooms behind him here, as Kammesennin makes his way up at the beginning of the Wily 4 stage.
Yeah, this point is really hard to imagine Casualtom dropping it at this point, but we have to say, because it's still true, anything can happen in this random race. So we just okay. I mean, taking the pause buffer for safety, making sure he doesn't fall into that unfortunate tile. Meanwhile, Casualtom finding vanilla bombs to destroy these walls.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you did randomize this seed, right? We got vanilla weaknesses. Oh my. Ooh. Crash bombs. Wow.
So yeah, just pretty much 8 robos and 3, well, technically 3 Wily fights before Casualtom officially takes it in 2-0's Kammesennin. So right now, Casualtom just got to get down to business, just kill a set of bosses, and he moves on in the brackets.
Yeah, this is alright. Well, we have 3 E-Tanks on Casualtom's side, so it would really have to be a mental error at this point, because there's no excuse of, oh, I need to save the E-Tank for the machine. You've got 3 of them, so anything close at this point, just E-tank and move on. But then again, I do have the benefit of, you know, knowing where the opponent is in comparison to Casualtom, when he does not.
I was about to find out the vanilla weakness of the bombs. And yeah, I kind of missed the weakness for the turrets. I almost want to argue that it was air, but I'm, well, about to find out in a moment.
It was something that was a straight shot. So it definitely wasn't... No. No, it wasn't that. There it is. Found it.
Yeah, that's air.
Air's supposed to arc up, not go straight like that, though. Ay.
God bless random trajectories for some weapons.
Very true. This is a randomizer.
But yeah, Kammesennin is starting on the first Robot Master. Casualtom taking out his 7th. So one Robot Master away from taking on the Wilding Machine, while Kame just has a long way to go.
Yeah, we're about to wave the white flag here. We got a couple laps to go here. So Casualtom up against the Wilding Machine, searching for what might be the weakness, and it looks like that leaf shield doing some work.
Get to beat the both phases. Nope, he's not gonna want to try. He's not gonna want to try it. But finds air shooter. Okay. It's a one-shotter, but it fires fast, it fires straight, and yeah, a few good B shots, and that's pretty much good to go. Casualtom once again taking the phrase out of your mouth, going to victory road here.
Yeah, definitely going right is the plan, even though there are refill energy pickups there. So Casualtom gonna have a go with the alien, and if things stay the course, this looks like a 2-0, and Casualtom will move on in the bracket.
Alright, so our Finding Raleigh alien is this yeah, I'm gonna call it the Abomination. I don't because that's what it looks like. It looks as I say it. But yeah, the luck is not a front page weakness. Is it metal?
Oh, found. Oh, okay. Alright.
And that pretty much seals it. Casualtom finishing the race and winning the race outright with official RaceTime.gg time of 31 minutes and 18 seconds. Well done to Casualtom as he moves on in the brackets. Of course, Kammesennin not undaunting, just some very bad deaths at the worst moments. Otherwise, Kammesennin had, for a good portion of both races, had several advantages on Casualtom.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kammesennin just not up to the level where I normally expect him to be, but I believe we've been invaded by a winner as we are joined by Casualtom, who has won this match 2-0.
Feels good, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this outright. Y'all two have performed excellently. Y'all have been pretty much even for a good majority of both races. Actually, Kammesennin had your number a little bit, especially with the advantage of the crash zips, but it's just a lot of unfortunate errors that had put Kammesennin just back enough for you to pretty much secure both races.
Yeah, he was keeping me updated in the race time chat. I saw from him where he had some, I guess we'll say, misfortune, unfortunately. But based on like the messages he was sending, it seemed like, yeah, those would have been really close races. I just had better luck this time, I guess.
Let's see, race 1, I think you took the lead in Wily 4.
Wow.
Wily 2, I think it was, in this second race. But Kammesennin did have the advantage seeing Wily first in both races.
Wow, both.
Yes.
Big on comment. Sorry to interrupt, but he has finished officially with a time of 33 minutes and 31 seconds. GD's the comment for toughing this one out in spite of some unfortunate setbacks in both seas, but Kammesennin has still performed very well in spite of those issues. But it's just unfortunate that it just kind of ended that way on Kammesennin's end, because both of y'all have played excellently. It's just one made more mistakes than the other, sadly.
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks. I do appreciate that. You know, it's a shame when things go wrong for someone else. I mean, I know I'd probably have hard feelings if I had. I mean, he described like, you know, some of the stuff he was going through, and especially, like I said, the pace he was on could have outpaced me. But I guess I just kind of held it together, playing it a little bit safe. And I wanted to say, in that first seed, I did take it in. I guess it's semi-intentional. I don't know if that even counts against Quickman, a death. I knew I had E-tanks, but it's Buster only, so I just want to make sure I had him for the end, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was something I wanted to ask about, because that was one of the things that came up in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, I want to ask about that first seed from you, because it looked like, you know, some bigger strategy was in play that I wasn't immediately aware of. And
No, just safety.
okay, so long-term safety was the plan. Okay.
I didn't know how many E-tanks I was going to need on refights, for example. And I think it was still like early enough in the seed where you don't know if there's going to be like a really tough robot master or whatever. But no, I mean, they're mostly pretty fine. The first enemy had some interesting Buster immune enemies in the stage. Second seed I thought was, I mean, definitely the easier of the two. But the first one did have, I was laughing pretty hard, you know, for the first and second boss being weak to Buster. What a night for that.
Oh yeah, the first, the dragon going down to the Buster, and the Picotan blocks also going down to the Buster, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot else to really say. I wanted to ask one question, though, because, you know, I did say I was going to race on Buster only, and, you know, I've agreed to race on Buster only in the past, and a lot of times when I do, I'll end up kind of violating the rules at whatever point where I kind of just give up and see no other way out, and then later it gets pointed out to me that I could have, like, you know, not used a weapon or utility at whatever point. I was thinking, and I think I mostly complied, maybe entirely, if first form Wily is not weak to Buster, the second form of Wily Machine, the second form will not be weak to Buster if the first one is not weak to Buster. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
so...
good. Then I did comply, I think. Didn't occur to me till like near the end of the second seed. I was in Wily 6 in seed 2. I was like, wait a minute, should I have checked Buster on the second form? I didn't, but that was like the only thing I could really think of tonight. But no really unintentional deaths, really. I mean, we can count that Quickman one, because I was kind of taking a chance there. I thought I'd probably die, but again, I hadn't died at all at that point. I knew I had like at least one extra life that I'd picked up along the way. I was like, screw that, I'll keep my E-tanks. I don't do Buster only for rando unless I'm racing Kame, so let me just make sure I'm prepared going into the refights.
Do you know who your next opponent is going to be in the bracket?
Is it not decided yet? Let me take a quick look. I think it's not decided yet. I think that race is Saturday, am I correct? Let me see.
Well, while you're figuring things out, we do officially have a Kammesennin in the server. Kame, good effort, but yeah, just a lot of unfortunate things just kind of just happened.
No. Dude, I died to quick lasers again. It's not even randomized. What am I doing?
Sag.
What am I doing? It's terrible.
Following in Prodigy's footsteps, apparently.
Oh, man. I know better, too.
So did he.
Yeah.
But other than that, honestly, you have done you raced a solid race in spite of getting both crash zips and doing them pretty much to a T, especially the one with the shrimps, because that usually under those circumstances would have been an insanely annoying attempt, even with the new pause buffering mechanics. Doing that under those conditions still worth noting.
Oh yeah, some good things happened for sure. And I mean, this second race, I was on a really good pace until I guess I slipped on some ice or something while fighting the dragon. I don't know what happened there, but
I blame Mega Man 2 physics. Those extra slippery physics, they don't do anyone any favors on one tile floors.
No, they do not. And I was really upset by that because I was like not only on PB pace but like by about a minute, well close to a minute anyway. I was posed to have a really happy finish to that race there, but no. That happened, and then Guts Tank happened, and Guts Tank is something that, for me, is just a consistent problem. Every time I can't use lemons, which is every time, it's like, it's a gamble. I might live, I might not. I don't know.
You know, speaking of PB, it just occurred to me, I was using the wrong splits for this race. I have a set of splits for Randomizer Buster only. Let me see where I would have landed on that. What's my PB for that? Because I might have PB today. Oh, no, I think... Yeah, no, that would have been a Buster only PB, but I used the wrong splits. My PB was like a 3209. I got like a 3118 or something, so...
Nice.
GG's.
Nice. Yeah, for Buster only.
GG's,
Thanks.
man.
Now, well done. Good time for it, too.
Yeah, hitting something like that in a randomized setting where literally anything and everything could happen, and getting a solid time and that being the PB to boot, definitely worth a lot of praise. So GG's not only the PB but also for the win as you move on to the brackets.
Yeah, thanks so much. You know, GG's Kame. I mean, I always look forward to doing Buster only, and you know, our you know, I don't know if I should use the term rivalry or whatever, but our history, I should say, goes back all the way to the beginning for me. You know, so you know, me meeting you under Buster only circumstances, and then you introducing me to the randomizer and its community. So as always, thanks so much for that. I always look forward to these, and you know, as far as I can tell, I always look forward to taking on the Buster only challenge with, you know, whoever wants it, especially if it's Kammesennin.
Well, I appreciate that, Tom. It's always a pleasure. You know, I always appreciate whenever anybody wants to do the gentleman's agreement and stick to the Buster. It's definitely never expected. I enjoy joining these things anyway, just to get more race experience and try to show folks something a little bit different. I mean, it's a randomizer, so it can be hard to show something different when everything's always different, but if I get lucky, I end up fishing for weapons a little less.
Yeah, same. And I do believe I did comply with the rules this time, although, I mean, you can watch for yourself and be the judge. Be sure to let me know if I need to be punished and disciplined.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've been around the Buster only block with the randomizer, of course.
I'm sure.
Having my badge with Kammesennin every so often when I do enter, and I'm pretty sure that for the most part you have definitely complied with those Buster only rules. So I'm pretty sure if I give you a passing grade, pretty sure Kammesennin would too.
Yeah, and the last time that we met up, I think there was only one very minor violation that didn't even matter. It's just I think you got it. I trust you.
It was probably something on, if I recall, the last time, I don't remember if it was like a couple years ago or whatever. I recall it was probably on the ladder climb on the way to Dragon. I probably used like Time Stopper or something maybe to deal with something. But I mean, that's, you know, pause canceling the knockback in this version of the randomizer makes Buster only that much more accessible. So,
yeah,
you know, nothing to worry about in a lot of circumstances where otherwise I probably would have, you know, had a little bit more of a hard time. So, yeah, it does make it easier now with, as like have a lot of the quality of life improvements in more recent versions of the randomizer.
Oh, absolutely, and it's great because, you know, some of them screens like the one you're talking about there on Wily 1, you know, before that trick was put in there, that there really sometimes wasn't a choice but to use something like Flash Stoppers or Time Stop, whatever. They confused me because they mixed up the names on between 2 and 4.
Time Stopper.
But yeah, sometimes you had to use that or Metal Blade or something of that nature, and there just wasn't a choice. So, even then, it's whatever.
Right on.
All right, so to recap, we have Casualtom moving on from losers, waiting for the match between Siberian Bull and Chrissy, which is scheduled. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Unfortunately for Kammesennin, he is eliminated from the tournament, but regardless, both of these runners have put up a very valiant effort. Of course, be sure to follow our runners as they really put themselves out there to show the best of what the randomizer can be, even in these buster only conditions. And of course, follow all the other information within the Mega Man 2 randomizer. And if you, by some interesting scenario, want to do so, you can follow either Freako and I. But yeah, we're not important. The runners are. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm not exactly trying to build a brand right now, so don't follow me. I don't stream, so yeah.
But yeah, with that, we're gonna go ahead and begin closing stuff out. We do have some matches that are scheduled for the next few days. Even tomorrow, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight, we got Blue Bomber and Central Sama in another losers bracket matchup. Coming up the following day on Thursday 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight, a very important matchup as winners finals between Satoko Addict 96 and Charlie Boy. They will duke it out for the right to be the first to make it to the grand finals. So that will be a very big matchup that no one should miss. But we also have the aforementioned Chrissy and Siberian Bull 9 match also in loser bracket coming a few days later on Saturday, August the 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight. So we got 3 more matches to go, at least scheduled, while several more waiting in the wings. So be sure to stay tuned to the family of Speedgaming channels as the tournament is slowly coming to a head. Just a handful of matches before we crown a champion, but we still got to get those last races in. So of course, once again, thanks to Speedgaming for once again allowing our tournament to be showcased. Our randomizer, our little baby, started with Duckfist, the original creator, and all those that have contributed within the randomizer, within the community. You know who you are. I can name you all, but holy crap, we just all love the randomizer the same. And of course, this is LV Cree. Congratulations to Casualtom for winning, Kammesennin for his efforts, and my side and doing commentary along with me. And we'll close us out. Freako, the floor is yours.
Oh, I've upgraded from being your sidekick. Oh boy. Alright, so I'm no more Robin to your Batman. It looks like we're fellow members of the Justice League again. So, with that said, we'll sum it up and then make way for whatever may be next. So, we have Casualtom moving on 2-0 to Kammesennin. Unfortunately, that'll be the end of Kammesennin's run in this tournament. And with that, shut it down. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care,
Thanks so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.